The hell is that? What is that? What is that? Hey, what's up, garden friends? My car is clean. For the most part. I mean, there's some shoes, a shirt, clothes hanger, a bag of popcorn. Because I had that long drive. I went up north. It was only like three and a half hours. But I had to go up north the other day for my sister's graduation. So got up at like 3:30 in the morning and then left. Did all the driving stuff. It was very foggy, which was really pretty. And it actually made the drive go kind of fast because I never had any sense of how much further I had to go. It's like I was in a bubble the whole time. Took me a while to get used to that, though. Can't really see if there's water drops on everything. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. So, I'm going to hit up the nursery just because I need a couple annuals. Nothing major. But I haven't been able to do much because, like I said, it won't stop raining. So, you know. Gonna try and do what I can and make it work. Couldn't find the verbena, but I managed to find the rest of the fillers I need. Oh, and that happened. One of the wholesalers I go through, talked to them not too long ago, and they said they got in some 14-inch spindle palms. They didn't mention that they were ginormous. Look at that. Like, my SUV's pooping a palm tree. Palm tree tail, that's more appropriate. Getting it home was a little bit difficult. Normally, I would put the pot through the window because it rolls down. But it's been raining for several days now, and that pot was extremely heavy. And for some reason, it's potted up in like solid clay or maybe sand. It was very heavy. So I always keep a bungee cord in the car. Did this to help hold the hatch down a little bit. And then I keep a roll of duct tape in there too, just to be safe. So I use that to tie it up. So there's some red ribbon there for safety. And dog leash. I don't think that handle is meant to hold that kind of weight, but worked pretty well. I could have let it go flat, but then the fronds may have been dragging on the ground a little bit. So this way it was a little bit more supported. This is a soft trunked palm though, so I was weary about having it tied too tight, but it seems okay. I don't think the tension was too much on there, but I mean, we'll find out. That takes a while to find out. So now I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna get this out of here. Well, there it is. Got it out. Isn't it pretty? I'm standing very far away. Sky is it's pretty big. Yeah, great deal. So I just gotta go get the dolly and haul this to the back. Alright, you know, in the past I have made the mistake before of putting the palm tree upright and forgetting to take these off. I'm gonna do that now. There we go. Doesn't look as big when it's not in front of the car, does it? Down here is my rusty blade. See, and I fold the duct tape in half to turn it into kind of like a ribbon. Oh, hello, spider. Let's get in here and cut this off. There we go. Freedom. It's so pretty. Make sure I save these. Put those back in the car. Oh, look at how pretty. I mean, just beautiful. So happy right now. Gorgeous palm tree. Thinking this is going to go in the middle of the other two, as long as it's tall enough that its canopy will be above the other two. I'll have to move the pots apart a little bit probably. That magnolia was only in this spot temporarily anyways. It's going over in this area. I just had it there for now for filler because I like privacy. But this is going to give less privacy. But that's okay. It's so pretty that doesn't even matter. I don't know. There are... that was the initial plan. We'll have to see. This is a pretty heavy plant to just like dropping in and pulling out. But this is what I had intended it for. So that's what I want to try first. I want it over near the seating. This is a seating table. See the table? This is where people sit. I want it over here. And I want it someplace where the trunk is visible because that is a large part of the appeal of this palm tree. Okay, so I've got this in the pot. If you don't know this, Because I do not live in the tropics, I faux plant my palms into nice looking containers. Then in the fall, I lift them out and I can move them inside much easier than moving these giant ceramic pots. And then I don't risk breaking the pots when I move them or injuring myself. So now I'm trying to decide what to do with this guy. Pardon the mess. We've had a lot of storms the last few days. It's been like nonstop, and so plants are just all over the place. I'm still getting things cleaned up. Now, because this pot and this pot, they both match, so I could just do the same thing in the middle, but because those match, I actually feel like I could do something different here that stands out. They don't have to go together, and I actually don't have the materials to make them match, and I really don't feel like going out and buying more plants. So I'm just short by one acalphya and one impatient, but I want this to stand out. I want this to be a little bit different. And I also don't think I want the big impatiens growing over the front of the trunk, because the trunk on the spindle palm is what's so cool about it. I don't want to cover it up too much. But I was talking about privacy and how I hate being able to see through the back here. And where I live, I have an HOA that's very strict. I can't like plant vines or anything on the fence. I have my vandas, my vandaceous orchids on these trellises back here, which are all kind of wonky right now from the wind, but that has helped a little bit. I'm going to get some, I have these, see these pans, these pails here. I have more of those that I can place around and put different plants in them to help fill in those gaps a little bit. But I want something up behind this palm trunk. And I'm really working with limited space back there too. So here's what I was thinking. It's a little bit untraditional, but I think I'll like it. Hold still, one moment. Okay, I have this Alpinias zarumbut, variegata, variegated shell ginger. These grow out in kind of a fan-like pattern. They kind of go like this instead of going up or spreading straight out. They grow at an angle. So if I plant this in the back, it's going to grow at an angle backwards, but I could put some little bamboo stakes on each side with some clear string. You wouldn't even be able to see it, and it'll hold that foliage up behind it. I like the idea of doing this because variegation is so good in the shade, and it's much shadier back here. Not too shady. I have my Vanda orchids back here, which like a lot of sun, but it doesn't get a ton of sunlight. I think this will do well there. So I'm gonna play around with that, and then in the front, I'm thinking maybe I'll do a black coral elephant ear on each side of the trunk, have these right here, and then do a pretty display of bromeliads right in the front. But yeah, that's the plan here. I'm gonna try and walk through it step by step, but sometimes I get motivated and I just go for it, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so now there's no way that I was gonna fit that big plant right behind there. There wasn't enough space. I took my knife, made a very clean cut through the rhizome, and divided it. And so there'll be more like one on each side instead of right behind. I think it'll fill in and look okay. I'm gonna make this work. Okay, and here's where we're at so far. Got my 2 Alpinias in the back, 2 sweet potato vines. This variety is called Sweet Caroline. These are from Proven Winners. Then over the front there is this Tradescantha zebrina. Pretty plant. Now, okay, the sweet potato vines are gonna want way more light than this guy does, but it's just gonna work. It just will. So the risk I run here by having these planted where they're gonna want more light than this guy is really more that these may become long and leggy, which you can prune them back, fertilize them extra to supplement for the energy they're not getting from sunlight. And sometimes sweet potato vines tend to scorch, so them getting part sun, I think, should be just fine. There may be some competitive issues going on here. I'll have to keep an eye on it. I think it'll be fine. I love the lime green color from the Sweet Caroline. Really pretty. This mess behind everything is driving me crazy. I'll get to that when I'm done with all this. Alright, so there's still lots of room to work with here, and I want this to look like a little miniature tropical garden. I have my black coral elephant ears. I might put one of those on each side. The way I had to split the gingers, I don't know. I'm gonna play around with things. I have other options. I would like to get some more color into this. So over here, I have some Persian shields. These do well in sun and part shade, and they're so pretty and shiny. I love shiny plants. Then I have back here a Gartenmeister, one of the tropicaler types of fuchsias. That would be pretty. I have a lot of different coleus to work with. This is not coleus, but there are different varieties to work with. Might use that. I don't think so though, because these are all varieties that get pretty big. I have a pretty anthurium here. That would look really pretty. This more shade tolerant. Actually, I think this might be a sun one. Yep. Never mind, not him. In the very center though, I want to see if I can find a smaller piece of lava stone in my garden and do a little bromeliad type garden. I think that'll be really pretty. Hey, found a good piece of rock. That'll work perfect. Got a couple of the Gartenmeister Fuschias, Fuchsia Gartenmeister on each side. They're different sizes. They look like they're different colors too, but they're not. I mean, they kind of are. Well, that's weird. Whatever, it's fine. I like the color those are going to add. They should do okay with the light that everything else is getting here. I've really been stuck on wanting to get at least one of these black coral Alpinias in there because it would add so much contrast. The problem though is that the amount of light this is going to be getting, because there's kind of like a heavy, there's sort of a heavy canopy up here. So the amount of light this will be getting with an Alpinias, it's going to stretch out. It's going to like lean out, come forward, not going to look right. So too bad, right? Just won't be using it. Whatever. I still want more texture though. I think I have just the thing for that. Bridal veil. Ooh, or should I use some of this Bolivian Wandering Yew? That's got good texture too. Let's see. Excuse me, Toby. Toby, do you mind? Thank you. Because my thought here was I want something that'll kind of drape over the rock a little bit. I have something that's going behind there. That's going to be the last thing I do. And I like this. It has a wild look to it. Bridal veil, though. This stuff grows like insanity. It is going to end up coming over and draping over everything. That's not going to look right. So maybe this Bolivian yew might be the way to go. Calesia repens, if you were wondering. I kind of like that. The leaves are a whole different texture. Not entirely positive how I'd pop this up to have it coming over, though. I may end up just leaving this as it is and having to do moss later. Because, yeah, this will be down here. And I guess I could, like, train it. I could sort of, like, train it, so, I guess, to... I don't know. I'm gonna play around with things some more. I'm definitely going to use these fuchsias, though. Those are going to look good, though. I'm going to pop those in. Fuchsias are in place. I also went ahead and put a couple of the Persian shields back there. I decided that... I mean, this is crowded, I know. But it's pretty, so I don't care. There is some purple up here in this Tradescantha. These have gotten just a smidge too much light. These will darken up a little bit more. But you can see these have this purple in it. Purple undertones are on the undersides of the leaves. I think that ties those two together very well. And I really, if you hadn't noticed, my obsession with these black coral Alpinias, I just wanted something dark in there to provide a contrast. I feel like it pulls your eyes back so you're seeing everything and it's really highlighting the trunk. That's what I wanted. All right, now for the centerpiece. This is gonna look pretty cool, and I'm excited about it. Bromeliads. This is gonna be awesome. There it is. Very pretty. Who doesn't love bromeliads? Only issue I'm having here, these yellows do not match, and it's driving me crazy. So I may end up just picking one to have in the center instead of all three. Now, the leaves of the ginger are kind of cramped up right now, or clamped, what am I trying to say? Slightly folded, that's because I just divided them, they're stressed, so I watered them in. They should pop back from that just fine. So if I were to pick just one color, you guys let me know. I kind of like this yellow one here. I love how it has the red at the bottom of those bracts, but I also love the giant paddle here on this red one. Now, I'm also very inclined to say forget it and just leave all three of them in there. Because that still does look very pretty. It's a little bit odd how everything else is symmetrical, but that's not. Since it's the center of the pot, I feel like that's okay. But I do still feel like something's missing. I think it may just be because I have all these plants that have blown over back here I need to tidy up. I really like this, though. What about some Diamond Frost Euphorbia? Kind of pretty, adds some texture. It's that I need to sneak some crystals into this. Treasure turtle? Sea turtle? Just joking about the sea turtle, but I kind of like it. This is good. That'll do. Absolutely gorgeous palm tree. Beautiful centerpiece to these two palms. Need to tidy up this entire area, so the final reveal of all that will be in the next vlog from this video. Actually, it'll probably be in the vlog previous to this video. Oh, how am I going to do this? Didn't think out the timeline. Try to imagine everything around it being pretty. That's all you got to do. Move the shovel. Okay, no, not doing that. I'm not going to film myself cleaning. That'd be very boring. That is all. Beautiful planting. Nice little miniature tropical garden in here. Overall, I think this is beautiful. And that middle one is so tall, I can't find a spot where you can even see it. Sort of. That kind of works, but the sun's not working for me. You know what? Actually, I think I'm just going to leave this in the vlog. I was going to have this as a whole separate video. This is the vlog. This is part of the vlog. So everything from this point on, if you're not interested in potting up the spindle palms, this is where that stops. Done. Moving on. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. I need to take these boots out to the front yard. And here are the boots on the front porch. Neighbor's weed eating. Sorry. I like that. I think it fits. Maybe it might look better down there, though. I actually can't tell what I prefer. No, I want it back up there. Why is this bothering me so much? Maybe because it'd look better if I had boots on each side? That's too many boots. This is fine. I may go ahead and get some other small brown planters, or I guess blue and brown, to put around here. I was thinking about putting some ferns on the front porch. That'd be really pretty. Look at how well these are filling out. Don't they look good? Creeping Jenny's really doing its thing, and the coleus, this has filled out a lot. And it's only been about 5 days, I would say. So, stuff's doing well. And the hanging baskets, they're filling out very quickly. That Alyssa, I still haven't decided if I like the alyssum in there. It's kind of, it looks a little bit messy. It'll do. Yeah, they're filling out quickly. Looking good. Very pretty. And the caladium roots I planted in here, those are starting to come up. See them? Right here. All the way through. Coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up. That's going to look really cool. These are all still kind of tattered and torn from the storms, but they've also probably doubled in size, and it's only been... well, no, it's been a week. It's Monday. I planted these last Monday. Most of them. So, yeah. That goes through there. There's the border. Dendrums are blooming. This is looking nice. Not much action down there yet. But this, lots of color. So much color. Look at the male, so we can have a little look at this. Like I said, they haven't done much. They're starting to fill out a little bit, and they're blooming more. That's going to look pretty nice in a few weeks. And there it is from the front. Messy because it's been storming, but it looks pretty good. I don't hate it. Have I ever mentioned what a hard life my dogs lead? I mean, man, they're really suffering. Such hard lives. I have been so busy out here. Last year I had bamboo palms right here that provided a nice little privacy area for the hot tub. I left them out. They were getting too big. They were getting lanky. I had had them. They were old too. I had had them for a very long time, and the mealybugs loved them, so I let them go. They were in these interesting clearance pots. I'm glad to have that done, so I can get this area cleaned out. I can realign these old pots that I only use for annuals now because of the shape. If I put perennials in there, something that'll get big, I can't get it back out because the top's smaller than the middle. The same thing with these guys right here. So I can get these guys pushed back in, get the plants lined up. I do still want something here for privacy. Nobody likes to sit in a hot tub and like realize that, you know, there's, I don't know, it's not private time, important. So doing that, but first, before I even get to that, this magnolia was actually originally going to go over there where I just was. That was the plan for like multiple years. But this year, I'm actually going to be putting this in the serenity garden because the Japanese maple I got in clearance for the serenity garden last year did not come back. Winter was just too rough, is what it is. And I think it'll look pretty over there. Next year, I'll get this moved over there by the hot tub. A lot of my hand, I'm sorry. So, been doing trimmings, putting up the elephant ear. These guys always kind of have a little bit of transplant shock when I put them in the ground. And whoever was originally growing these, the grower, apparently did not have these in sun. Yeah, there is some shock there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to cut the flower spikes out too. I want these to devote their energy to rooting and putting on new growth. So that's what's going on there. Oh, hello. How you doing? But yeah, okay, so that's what's going on there. I need to do that. I'm all over the place right now. I'm sorry. First things first. Oh no, troll butt. Excuse you. There you go. Hose on the side of my house that the hose I use to water most of my plants. This hose sucks. The water pressure is terrible. I don't use it that often. But this great big thick red hose right here, this thing has great water pressure. The problem is, for some reason, the spigot on the side of the house that goes all the way around that way was leaking really bad the other day. So I had to shut the water off, which worked out fine for the plants because we got a ton of rain. But it's been a couple days. It's getting hot out and things are starting to drought a little bit. So I need to get that up and going. I need to do that anyway. So it's just part of home maintenance. I need to take care of that stuff. So I'm going to do that now. There it is. This thing gives me trouble every single year. I have to put a new fitting on this every spring. It was good this year, so I don't really know what happened. I think, nope. Yeah, see? There it goes. Pain in the butt. Alright, I think that's good. I'm not seeing any leaks in there. I put a little bit of the Teflon tape on there, plumber's tape. Then I have this piece on here, it has a little bit of flex hose to it. So that when I put this Y adapter on here, I would normally put the Y adapter up there, but there seems to be some, but I think there's been strain from having the different hoses on there. I don't really know what the deal is, but this way, there's a little bit more give and a little bit more flex to it. Hopefully it works. All right, leak free. Isn't this exciting? This also controls my drippers on my front porch. It says that those are on. I'm gonna have to check back and make sure those aren't like stuck in the run mode. This could just be a coincidence in timing that they're running right now. I don't know. I have to come back and look in a little bit. All right, enough of that boring stuff. I want to do things with plants now. It's like I'm getting to Home Depot at the same time as the plant delivery. That's pretty exciting. Who doesn't love fresh plants? But I don't got time to wait for them to unload a truck. I'm here for mulch. I am so over mulching, but I have to keep doing it. There's still one area left. Up here along the back of this hill. It's been bugging me. It's kind of an eyesore. This plant stand, which I did finally get the rest of the pots for, is wonky. Now, I could dig that out, but then the wrought iron would be underground. I'd rather just put mulch there and raise it up on that end. Next year, I'd like to do something different here. I can't... This whole area is complicated. This is all gravel in the ground up here for the most part. There's not much soil because this entire hill and then this trench right here, that's all drainage for all these houses that, well, you can't see them, but all the houses that are uphill from here all drain into my yard and come down along the back of this wall through where I was working just a few minutes ago in this video probably, down to a sewer. So because of that, there's not a lot I can plant up here. I threw a hydrangea in here years ago and it like does okay, but not spectacular. So I've been dumping my pots in here, and all my pots from the last season, been dumping them in here, and then that will over time start to enrich the soil. But I need to mulch it. I don't think I bought enough mulch. In my head I was like, oh, this is plenty, but I only grabbed a dozen bags. I don't think that's gonna fill this in. I mean, a thin layer, it will fill it in, but you need a good 6 inches to kill the grass off. I could use a weed barrier, but in my experience so far, if I use a weed barrier, as the mulch breaks down, you have soil on top of the weed barrier. Like down there, which you can't really see, but in my pollinator garden, the grass still eventually will grow on top of the weed barrier. So I just, if I were a nice garden bed or something, I would do that. With this, I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna mulch it, get as much down and spread it to look as nice as I can for the time being, and then when I have more time, we'll get more mulch and thicken it up as much as I can to help kill the grass off. Yeah, that was a lot of time just talking about mulch. I'm so sorry. Forgot my hoe. I was up there doing the mulch, and I was like, where my hose at? So far, this is going a lot further than I thought it would. This stuff does expand really well. Also, there are calculations I could have done to figure out how much I actually needed. I didn't feel like doing that. Not for something that's not that serious. So I still have 6 bags left, and I haven't spread it, but there's actually a pretty hefty layer there. I still need to do the front, which isn't that big, and then to like right here on this pine tree and bring this up. I'll just finish it, sorry. Just need to stop yabbering. There we go. Probably looks pretty much the same to you guys, but to me, huge improvement. I do think I still need to push some of the mulch back. I don't know how much of it I want piled around the bottoms of these trellises because of rust. I can't sink these that far into the ground because, like I mentioned before, this is gravel pretty much under what little grass there is there. So at the flip side of that, it will help stabilize them. Like, see, this guy's kind of leaning back a little bit, but I need to get this guy filled back up with pots. I don't know what I'm going to put on all of them. I have ideas. I don't think it's going to be like a nice uniform thing. I think it's going to be pretty random. And I think I probably got about a 3-inch layer down, so halfway there. And when I spread more of the stuff in the front back to the back, that's going to look much better. But yeah, the bones are done. That's what I'm happy about. Now that that's done, last week, maybe the week before, I don't remember. I think it was in last week's vlog, previous vlog to this one. I set up some alocasias in here, elephant ears, to kind of just fill things in. Normally this entire berm, pardon the lighting, is full of banana trees. Really nice big tall Baju bananas. We had a bad winter. Apparently I didn't put enough mulch on them. They're not coming back. By now, I mean, I think today's like May 23rd, so it's not looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop these 2 elephant ears in here, and I have 2 of the Thai giants. that are going to go up here. And originally I was going to have these two alocasias right here, since I have those two right there. But I think that having them broken up a little bit, I think that's going to look better. These have a little bit of height. My main goal is to just get some privacy here. It goes all the way through up into... I hate it. It's not that I don't like my neighbors. When I'm in my backyard, I like to feel away and separated. So I already got one of these guys planted. I have them raised just a little bit up. I have drip irrigation that runs through here, or micro irrigation. They're sprayers, and they can rot with that. So I want them raised up just a little bit so they'll have some airflow. So I need to drop this guy in here. And then Lowe's just happened to have some little baju bananas. I'm going to go ahead and throw those in here. They're not going to do much. I'm going to have to make sure to really just mulch the crap out of them this winter. See, the problem is this maple tree's gotten so big, this thing just doesn't get the light it used to. So the bananas are kind of over here. This used to be just a gorgeous, huge wall of bananas, but not so much anymore. But if you're planting something outside of where it needs sun, a lot of fertilizer makes a big difference. So I'm gonna do all of it and come back. There we go. There's the alocasias. Now I need the bananas. Here they are. Go 1, 2, 3. That's all that's happening in one trip. Alright, that's those. There we go. And here's number 4. Just got to get these guys planted up and I'll be done. Well, with this. I would normally space these to go all the way down. That's pointless. I mean, you can see where the sun is, what little sun there is. So this does get a decent amount of morning sun. About, I'd say, 5 solid hours of morning sun. Then it's filtered for a couple hours after that. Still, bananas like a lot of sun. So I think I'm just gonna, let me see here, because it still needs to look nice. You can't see any of this. So I think I'll go from this line right here. See that? There's a line there. So probably 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that'll work. Holes are dug. Not really showing. Okay, so now I'm going to go through. I'm going to add some fertilizer. This is a slow release from Stay Green. It has 19% nitrogen. That is a lot. That's what I want. Bananas. Woo, focus. Bananas like a lot of nitrogen. I usually actually use grass or turf fertilizer with them, but I'm fresh out, so this will do. And I go through and I'll put in just a little bit. That was actually a lot, so not that much. Yeah, see that in there? I'll go through, scatter a little bit, put the lid on there, it comes out slower. Fill it up about halfway. I'll do a little bit more, and then right before I'm done topping it off, I'll add some more. All right, so now that that's done, I know it doesn't look very impressive. I'm thinking probably mid-July should look a lot better. I'm going to mulch these very heavily this winter, so hopefully won't have to do this again next year. There's just a really bad winter on top of everything. The alocasias I'll be lifting out and storing in my garage where I keep my other tropicals. Having a moment here to recover. Oh, I didn't show you my vine. Look at, so big and pretty. What's going on this lamppost back here? The alocasias. I meant to mention, when I plant my alocasias, I don't really rough the roots up very much. They tend to wilt and like go through transplant shock very easily, so I don't really mess with them much. If their roots are really wound and really tight, then I do, and then I'll trim off a lot of the foliage. I mean, you still need to leave some because it needs to take in sunlight. They need energy. But yeah, that's all that was. I really didn't mess with their roots very much because I didn't want to shock them and have them drop their leaves. It's a setback. But there really is only like one major thing left to do. I guess kind of two. I think I'm just going to do the one for now, and that is I need to plant up these Areca palm pots. So let's go ahead and do that. I mean, I need to have so much cleaning to do. Look at all the things that happened. So many things. I'm going to do that. Okay, so I have my acalphya here. I'm sure this is very loud. I'm going to skip through this real quick. I'm going to pull this out of the basket and divide it up. Pull this off of there. Done with that. Come up here, kind of divide it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of the pot. There we go. They're divided up. It actually took a really long time. This is a more established basket. They usually, though, take being divided up just fine. Over here and over here, it's just been like maybe 10 days since I did those same way. And they're already bouncing back, putting on new growth and flowering. It's a little bit of dieback with this one, but out of the 4, they look fine. And then the ones I did on my front porch, there's 6 up there. So we have like 10 now, and only one of them so far has shown any stress. So my plan here is to go with the acalphas coming down each corner. Over here I'm just going to do the 2 front corners. I don't know if this is visible. I can't see my screen, I'm sorry, but the 2 visible corners on that blue pot, that's where those are going to go. This is all I have left of Creeping Jenny. It all looks kind of rough. The clearance, so I'm not surprised by that. But I wanted them to have the Creeping Jenny coming down the front, because that's what I did over here. I want to be able to kind of carry that through. It'll help tie things together a little bit. I'm not putting the sun impatiens in the front of these. I've done that every year, and the Areca palms are getting big enough now where there just isn't space in there for them. So I'm using these anthuriums. I think these will look nice. Did I say that weird? Anthurium? I can't talk. I need to just get busy. What I'm thinking I'm going to do here is just a little before and after. So here's the before. Those are done, obviously. There's such a mess to clean up here. I'm going to do that. But the main thing I need to do is I need to clean. Oh, shoot. Okay. I forgot that these pineapples were supposed to go into these pots as well. All right, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to clean up. There can be like a, before, and then there'll be an after. It's not going to be a very impressive after, though, because I'm getting tired. There we go. Before and after. Okay, still a mess. I'm well aware. I got all this stuff cleaned up. Things are tidied in here. That has to wait for next week, though, like this whole area, doing a whole thing with it. But I got the acalphas potted over the edge, put a couple pineapples in there, the anthurium. Down here, there wasn't as much room to work with in the pots because the palms kind of like shifted towards the front. Looks fine, though. The Creeping Jenny in the front, maybe it's just because they're kind of little and wimpy, and then the one acalpha's in flower and the other one's not, but gotta be honest, it's kind of bugging me. I really would like flowers coming over the front. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a few days, let the Creeping Jenny actually start to fill out and do something, and think about it a little bit more, because the other option would be some vinca. Trailing vinca would be really pretty over the front of these pots as well. I'd have to go buy them though, and I'm trying to kind of be done with that for right now. But I mean, there's some blurry vinca up there. It would be pretty coming down the front. Either way, steps have been made into the right direction. These are all pots I need to clean up and replant. I'm happy with it. So happy, in fact, that I feel fulfilled. Think it's time to call it quits. I know things were maybe brief this week. It's hard to say. Usually when I think the vlogs are really short, they're really long, and then it goes the other way around. Also, I don't know what's up with my white balance. It's actually kind of dark out right now. For me, the highlight of this week was definitely the new spindle palm and the pretty stuff planted underneath it that's like overexposed for some reason. I don't know what's going on there. Whatever, it doesn't matter because I'm saying goodbye. Next week I'm going to get those pots planted up that are on that rack. I kind of have it mocked up, but you'll see. I'm going to be doing things in here. Vegetables are going in, pots are being put away, transferring the fish outside. Like I've said in every vlog so far for a few weeks. Gonna do the Serenity Garden and another little tropical corner. I've got to get things done and wrapped up because my big family wedding coming up here is on the, 2nd? Family starts rolling in town a few days prior, so I need things spick and span and pretty out here by then. It's not gonna be perfect, and gardening's something you're never done with. I don't want to finish this up and then like have nothing left to do all summer. That'd be ridiculous. And a lot of the things that are being planted are being potted up into my big palm trees that have yet to, they're not here. I don't know why. I've tried contacting the greenhouse people several times, and guess what? No response. So I will be calling them again tomorrow and being maybe a little bit more, what's the word? Proactive? I don't know. Sometimes you have to let it be clear that customer service sucks and you're not happy. So I will handle that tomorrow. So next week, those palm trees better be here. And then a lot of things are gonna get potted up into them. Lots and lots and lots of things. Landscape, it's gonna, I'm done ranting. Oh, next week vlog is going to be out on Friday instead of Saturday. Saturday's the wedding, I won't be here. So there's that as well. So I hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It helps the videos a lot. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Subscribe as well. Upload multiple times a week. I'll link all my social media stuff down below. Down there in the roots of the video. Follow me, I'll follow you back, and we look at each other's plant pictures. It's a good time. And comment down below. Let me know what's going on in your garden. What are some fun things you've been doing? What's going on? You got any spindle palms? I know I've been kind of spindle palm crazy this year. I've always been spindle palm crazy. I've just never been able to find them for sale. So, I mean, other than like really small ones at Home Depot. Yeah, so just talk to me about plant things. I love the conversations. I really hope everybody's doing well. As always, and most importantly, everybody, keep on growing. Bye-bye.